Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Trigg here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and that is Tyson, man of steel, getting ready to fight on World Series of Fighting 3 against Steve Carl. I just finished up with Steve Carl here a little bit ago, and I asked him what he saw in you and how you saw you as a fighter and what was going to adapt. And he said that you really haven't changed much over your last several fights. I actually called your fight against Curtis DeMarce in MFC 26. And that was your last
Yeah,
loss. You're on a 4-fight win streak right now.
that's right.
You went out there and crushed Gregor Gracie in World Series of Fighting 1.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, me. I completely thought that Gregor was going to be able to control the pace and handle it, but you overwhelmed him. Obviously,
Hmm.
there's been a big change since the Curtis
There's,
DeMarce fight.
yeah,
What is Steve Carl talking about saying that there's no change?
I don't know. I think he's bonkers to say that. He's obviously hasn't seen my last fights. There's a big change from just going from my previous fight up to Gregor's fight. There was a massive change. So I honestly have no idea where he's getting that info from because that's the first I've heard of it. Anyone who has seen me fight over the years has been saying that there's been a massive change and it's a completely different Tyson Steele than we've seen in the past every time. So
No.
I don't think he's seen to.
Why the change? Is it your training partners? Is it your coaching? Did you just decide that you had to improve in some skill level? Like, what happened?
I'm getting more confident for one. I've been sticking with the same coach and training partners my entire career, but the confidence thing is really big. That's what I can attribute most of it to. I think.
Now, how are you getting your confidence? Is it just from getting these victories and training camps becoming easier and you're understanding the pattern and rhythm of the ups and downs of MMA? Or
I
did
th-
something happen, a parent or a girlfriend or somebody come in and tell you this is what has to happen?
no, I think it's just becoming I'm becoming more confident with the more experience I get, and I'm having better wins, and I'm finishing out the training camps feeling better and better each time, learning new skills. My training partners are telling me I'm looking better. It's just things have been going really good. Yeah.
Now, you're the co-main event against John Fitch and Josh Berkman.
Hmm.
It's Fitch brings a lot of heat to the World Series of Fighting. Like not heat in a bad way, but a lot of more eyeballs, a lot more media, a lot more attention. Are you getting more attention as well from having Josh on the card?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's I like their first card had a lot of attention. I didn't get I didn't get too much media attention though, but this one I think I can say it probably has more to do with me being on the co-main event. There's a lot more media outlets that want to speak to me. It's like every day for the last couple weeks here, I've been on radio shows or news crews have been in, and now talking to you, it's been super busy. Just speaking with media, so it's probably a combination of both, with me being on the co-main event and then having John Fitch on the card too,
Now,
and John.
has the media been a burden? Because I know when I was fighting, sometimes the media is too much of a pain in the ass to deal with them all the time. Always trying to do an interview, always trying to it's your rest period, but now you got to get back in mode again for a 15-minute interview. Has it been kind of a burden for you? Or has it been relatively easy?
It hasn't been too bad. They're pretty accommodating. I find I'll give them a time that works for me, and then that's when they call. Yeah,
Yeah, man, you were out of town. Like I was trying to get you on Friday, and you were like, "I'm sorry, I'm out of town till Sunday." And so here we are on
yeah,
Sunday doing the interview. And so for me, it worked out. But I
yeah,
understand. But I also understand the game. I understand how training sessions go.
exactly.
I get the whole space where a lot of the guys, a lot of my peer group in the media game don't understand, and they get
Yeah,
frustrated and upset with you, and then they put you in a bad spot because you really want to do the interview, but you just can't.
yeah. Well, there's a few that had to cancel too because the times didn't work out. But if I mean, I think everyone understands. If I can't do it, then I can't do it. It's
Yeah.
not that I don't want to, but
All right, let's break down Steve Carl. I asked him to break you down what he saw from watching tape. What do you see on Steve when you're watching tape of him?
I see him always coming out pretty aggressive. He's a high pressure type fighter. That's kind of how I see myself often in fights too. But Steve seems to throw pretty wild on his feet. He comes in pretty recklessly often, and I think that's something I can capitalize on with him. And he's got some good jiu-jitsu skills, lots of submission wins. He seems to be comfortable fighting off his back. But now that being said, he saw my last win with Gregor, so I'm assuming he's not going to want to kind of play around with play off his back too much with me, because I had a pretty dominant win over a high level jiu-jitsu player from beating him up from inside his guard. So I think that he's probably going to try to keep it on the feet. He's going to try to beat me up and box me up on my feet, for until things get a little bit uncomfortable, or he sees the need to change the pace. But with me, I'm pretty good at taking the fight where I see fit and where I feel comfortable. I'm going to try to put him out of his comfort zones as much as I can.
Where do you think a win over Steve Carl is going to rank you within the welterweight division for the World Series of Fighting?
I think that's going to put me up in the top three, four. Berkman and Fitch being 1 and 2 at the moment,
right?
And then after I beat Steve, then I'll fight the winner of Berkman and Fitch.
Has World Series of Fighting, has Ali or Ray Sefo, anybody came to you and said this is what we have planned?
Neither of them have said that to me yet, but all the other radio hosts, that like the American radio hosts that I've spoke with, they said that Ray has told them that. They said Ray actually told me in an interview, or Ray came out and said that the winners of the 2 welterweight fights on June 14th are fighting each other.
I train with Ray in Las Vegas. I see him all the time, every day, and our unspoken word is we don't talk World Series of Fighting business from that end, like as me as a journalist and him as the president at all when we're inside the gym. So I leave it alone. So I never talk to him about anything, because I don't want to get into that space of, oh, you told me that that Tyson Steele's next. Like, you told me that, so why isn't Tyson Steele next? I don't even want to get in that space. But it's not surprising to hear Ray say that. That was my assumption as well, that's what would happen. But it's nice to know that Ray had told somebody else, and that is what's going to happen. Because I really do think the winner of you two are the you guys are 3 and 4. They're 1 and 2. Berkman and Fitch are 1 and 2. You guys are 3 and 4. Let's figure out who's going to be the next one in line. I think that's the way it should be. So I like it.
Yeah, the way that they bumped us up to the co-main event, I knew right away that's what they had planned. I could tell they were trying to highlight us 2 new guys coming up. So whoever wins is gonna fight the winner. It makes sense. Yeah.
How do you see the Fitch Berkman fight breaking out? Do you think it's gonna be Fitch is gonna win? Or do you think Berkman's gonna win?
I don't know. I've been racking my brain over that one, trying to figure that out, because Berkman keeps looking better and better each fight. And like, for such a veteran, you don't see that too often. But I mean, Fitch has been fighting the best guys for so long. He's got like an advantage there.
It's tough, right? Like, I'm having a hard time with this one too. I do know this. Berkman used to train in Vegas, and he trained with me here. He didn't train very hard or train very much. I didn't understand why. I interviewed him a couple of days ago, and he said it's because he had a herniated disc in his back. He couldn't train. He's finally got it fixed, and that's why we've seen him get so much better, so much later in his career, because he's injury-free. Fitch, on the other hand, showed us when he fought Eric Silva in the UFC, the old Fitch was back. All of a sudden, that exciting Fitch. Which one are we going to see? Is Berkman increased enough to kind of keep going up? Or are we going to see that new Fitch that's out there kind of running around? For me, it's very difficult, too, to call.
Yeah, that's the exact same conversation that I had with some of my friends just the other day. It's like, well, Fitch, I mean, he always is good. He's going to be a tough fight for anyone. And if it was 2 years ago, I would have 100% said Fitch.
Right.
Or even a year ago. But after having seen Berkman in his last 2 fights with World Series of Fighting now, he's getting better and better each time. That last win over Simpson was really impressive.
It was amazing. It was really good. Yeah. So, all right, well, there you have it. I really appreciate you coming on here, Tyson. I know it was difficult, and you got to end the training camp, but I'll see you next week, because I'm in Vegas. I'll be at the fight, so I'll definitely see you running around next week when you get down here.